We are so back. Back to McDonald's.
I like this, Chef. I think I might come back and do it again.
The Fed cut rates by 25 basis points yesterday, and it's like they unleashed the fury. Cleveland Fed President Beth Hammack even dissented, and yet, despite these cuts, Powell's message for 2025 is clear. Don't expect a rate cut Christmas miracle anytime soon. In fact, Powell couldn't resist playing the Grinch. Small cap stocks erased their post-election gains faster than you can say holiday bonus. Somebody check Jerome's heart. It might be 2 sizes too small.
This time, I'll keep it all.
Welcome back. I'm Rustin, head of news at Simply Bitcoin, and here's the breakdown. The Fed's revised inflation forecast for 2025 has ticked up from 2.1% to 2.5%. Unemployment is projected to rise slightly to 4.3%. Translation, the Fed's fighting inflation by inflating away the nation's $36 trillion debt mountain. That's not a solution. It's kicking the can down a never-ending road of devaluation. First, we got to unpack the madness, because when Jerome Powell speaks, markets listen, and then they panic. We have a lot to get to today. Send it!
Do you see any value or benefits in the U.S. government building a reserve of Bitcoin?
We're not allowed to own Bitcoin. The Federal Reserve Act says what we can own, and we're not looking for a law change. That's the kind of thing for Congress to consider, but we are not looking for a law change at the Fed.
Why officials think it's appropriate to cut rates at all in 2025 if inflation is expected to remain firm throughout the year?
We've reduced our policy rate now by 100 basis points. We're significantly closer to neutral. At 4.3% and change, we believe policy is still meaningfully restrictive. But as for additional cuts, we're going to be looking for further progress on inflation, as well as continued strength in the labor market. And as long as the economy and the labor market are solid, we can be cautious as we consider further cuts. And all of that is reflected in the December SEP, which shows a median forecast of down 2 cuts next year compared to 4 in September.
Okay, there's a lot of what Jerome Powell said, but underneath it, we know what he really meant and what he really said.
F*** your f***ing options. F*** your f***ing zero DTE calls. F*** the economy. F*** inflation. F*** your soft landing. I am sick of this shit. F*** Wall Street. F*** you all. I'm f***ing out.
That's some pretty accurate satire. Now let's get to the news. The Federal Reserve cut rates by 25 basis points. That's pretty standard stuff, except Jay Powell delivered it with the energy of a guy saying, "Trust me, the check's in the mail." Markets, of course, they didn't buy it. The S&P dropped 3%, the NASDAQ plunged 4%, and the Dow entered a losing streak so long it's making 1978 jealous. Even gold took it on the chin. Now here's what happened. Powell hinted that rate cuts in 2025 are not guaranteed, and the markets and investors hate uncertainty, and Powell just gave them a double dose. Let's talk about inflation. Powell says it's under control, but if that's true, then why does it feel like we're all starring in some inflation horror movie? You know, the one where prices just keep rising no matter how many times the Fed performs its monetary voodoo. Food prices up, housing up, health insurance up 6%, even car insurance is up 13%. Meanwhile, energy prices are finally down, but let's be honest, that's like your landlord saying, "I raised the rent, but I fixed the leaky faucet." What Powell isn't saying is that inflation isn't just a short-term problem, it's structural, and structural problems need structural solutions. Enter Bitcoin. While Powell is busy inflating the debt, Bitcoin is quietly racking up wins, peaking at the right time just before the playoffs. U.S. ETFs bought 84,000 Bitcoin in the last month alone. That's over 525,000 Bitcoin for 2024, the first year of this trend. Imagine where this is heading in 5 years. Marathon scooped up 1,777 Bitcoin worth 181 million cuckbucks in a single day while everyone else was panicking. Nation states are preparing for Bitcoin standards, strategic Bitcoin reserves, but think of it as a gateway drug. It's obvious Bitcoin adoption is accelerating because people are waking up to the reality fiat currencies are losing value faster than Powell can revise his forecasts. ETFs, nation states, and mining giants aren't buying Bitcoin for fun. They're positioning for a financial future where hard assets win and soft currencies lose.
Now, for the first time in 100 years, large public companies have a capital asset that they can consider in lieu of treasury bills, and that's Bitcoin. It doesn't make sense to consider real estate or gold or paintings or barrels of oil as a treasury asset. It does make sense to consider Bitcoin. So really, we're year one of a new era, and I would think that the companies that embrace it first are the ones that have a need to know, or they're very close to the Bitcoin industry, the digital assets industry. The Magnificent Seven, they'll embrace it later because they don't need it now.
Here's the deal. The U.S. is seeing its highest level of bankruptcies in 14 years, with 634 large company filings year to date. November alone saw 69 filings. That's not just a red flag. It's an entire fireworks display. And with Powell's policy changes, banks are getting hammered. Many are sitting on billions in unrealized losses. Meanwhile, Bitcoin operates outside of this crumbling system. It doesn't rely on debt or central bank whims. That's why institutional interest, it isn't slowing down, it's speeding up. Because Bitcoin isn't just an asset. It's a lifeline. We're about to dive into what this all means for Bitcoin in 2025 and beyond. But before we bring it home, look at our likes.
I gotta pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, set those notifications for the best in Bitcoin delivered to you daily. Give us a pap while we take a moment to recognize our sponsors, the masters of Bitcoin sovereignty. The Bitcoin Way. Simply Bitcoin Originals are powered by the Bitcoin Way. They've got 25 years of experience in cybersecurity. They are your IT team in the Bitcoin world. Whether you're just getting started setting up your first Bitcoin wallet or node, or you're looking into UTXO management, multi-sig security, inheritance planning, or accepting Bitcoin payments, they've got you covered. Time to go from the why Bitcoin to how Bitcoin, and the Bitcoin Way will hold your hand and guide you through every step of the process. Hey, if you're looking to get started, you can book a free 30-minute call using that link below.
These things are very sudden. If you look at the failure of fiat currencies, they don't gradually fail. They fail spectacularly. And this is the premise behind the 1 million Bitcoin call, that it's not going to be a gradual, slow increase to $1 million a coin, but rather a very short and violent upheaval that sends us there in a matter of months, weeks to months. I believe we're also on the verge of countries issuing debt, sovereign debt, to buy Bitcoin. So the Bitcoin bond program, it is going to come simply because the MicroStrategy model has illustrated that this works, and it works very well. And it's just simply a matter of time before a country pulls that trigger and unleashes a torrent of sovereign debt to acquire Bitcoin.
And the first nation to print money, the first nation to print their own currency to buy Bitcoin wins. Tom, look what MicroStrategy did. We basically issue our own currency, our stock, and we buy Bitcoin. What happened? We went from $1 billion to $100 billion market cap is what happened. Is it inflation? It's only inflation if you print the currency to make a bad investment. If you print the currency to buy something that's appreciating faster than your inflation rate, it's actually accretion.
Pretty bullish. So where is all this heading? Institutional and nation state adoption, global macro uncertainty. It's all setting the stage for a bull run like we've never seen before. Analysts are calling for $500K to $1 million Bitcoin, and honestly, that feels conservative given the momentum. Al Finney's prophecy is coming to fruition. All the skeptics are starting to come around. At this rate, we might see your grandma mining Bitcoin before the year's out. And here's why. Bitcoin's cap supply, combined with growing demand, it creates a recipe for explosive growth. And as the fiat systems creak under the weight of bad debt and questionable policy, Bitcoin looks less like an investment and more like a necessity. Kind of like getting tickets to Mining Disrupt 2025. The biggest Bitcoin mining conference on the planet is coming to Fort Lauderdale, March 25th through the 27th. Get your tickets today and join thousands of Bitcoin mining professionals and enthusiasts from around the globe for an electrifying experience at Mining Disrupt. See the latest cutting-edge hardware, products, and services that are revolutionizing the Bitcoin mining industry. For over half a decade, Mining Disrupt has been the premier conference and expo exclusively dedicated to the Bitcoin mining industry. Be part of the future and join the movement that's shaping the world of Bitcoin mining. Don't miss out. Head over to miningdisrupt.com and get your tickets today and use promo code SimplyBitcoin for 20% off. I'm going to be there. Nico's going to be there. Opti's going to be there. And we hope to see you there. The Fed may be struggling to keep the economy afloat, but Bitcoin isn't just surviving, it's thriving with institutional backing, the global Bitcoin hash war, Max Kaiser trademark, and a growing realization that fiat is a scam. The future is clear. Bitcoin's leading a charge into a new financial era. So are you going to watch from the sidelines or join the revolution? Because the train's leaving the station. Oh, and this is for the bears. Look in the mirror. Do it. Now say, Bitcoin crashed to $100,000. Say it. Okay, now look how stupid you look. Don't be an idiot sandwich. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, give us a pamp, and share the Sound Money Gospel. I'll be back in the chair Monday. But Dante and Bitcoin Simply have a lot of great stuff coming your way, so stay tuned. And until next time, keep calm, huddle on, and let Bitcoin do the heavy lifting. Hey, I love you guys. Peace.
If you prefer to go down with the ship, you.